I'm Gary.
This is Austin.
Hey, Gritty.
And we are Midwest Mikes. Finally coming back at you guys. A lot has happened since we last spoke. Hope you guys enjoyed the NFL and college football regular seasons and the college football playoff. But life happened for all of us this fall, so we were all busy. It's been a while since we recorded, but what's up, guys? What's been going on?
Well, nothing. Absolutely nothing, man.
Nothing.
No, we actually had what's been going on is that the NFL season's been a little crazy with all the backup quarterbacks coming in.
Just a little bit, huh?
Yeah, you know what's interesting about that, though? We're still getting a lot of the usual suspects that end up making the playoffs, right?
Yeah. It was definitely crazy. I don't remember a year with this many quarterback injuries. At least in recent memory for me, just off the top of my head, I don't remember, this many quarterbacks going down. Obviously, kind of started with Aaron Rodgers on the third play of the Jets season, going down that first night, Monday night in Buffalo. Or against Buffalo.
Yeah, I mean, it's been, God, I like you said, Gary, I don't remember a time when you had this many, not just quarterback injuries, but big-name quarterback injuries. Like, some people say Joe Burrow's the second-best quarterback in the league. They say Kirk Cousins is one of the most entertaining guys in the league, especially after the quarterback show, Cole's Cash, and you like that and all that stuff. So, Aaron Rodgers, marquee, that was the story of the offseason. A lot of people picked the Jets, much like us, me and Austin, to win that division based solely off of that.
Mm-hmm.
And, he plays 70 seconds.
Yeah.
And that's the end of it, So, this season was brutal for the big name player. Injuries outside of quarterbacks too. We're going to talk about a little bit of that with the games coming up this weekend as well and how that affects the games. But just across the league, man, I don't know if they changed the way they do their training or what, but man, there's been a lot of injuries.
I feel like some of it is, like soft tissue stuff, especially some of the stuff that's happening now, just because they don't hit as much in practice in the NFL. They don't wear pads as much as they used to.
Yeah.
And so I think some of it is just, you kind of get dinged up taking those hits more in the game than, and your body doesn't build up the tolerance from practice.
Yeah. Now, like in this part of the season, you're starting to see all the deep tissue. You're seeing the hamstrings that keep coming up. You start seeing the quads that keep coming up. The calf strains, which you normally don't see this late in the season, but like you said, they don't get those reps and pads anymore, the extra weight, anything like that. So these lingering injuries have lingered on.
Yeah.
It's interesting, too, to see which teams it affected and which ones it didn't. It did not affect Pittsburgh.
No.
Not at all.
Tomlin still got 10 wins.
And
he's on his third string guy.
You know what's crazy too is none of us had Pittsburgh in the playoffs, even though we talked about how Tomlin had never had a losing season. None of us had Pittsburgh in the playoffs.
Which I think, like, if any year was coming, like, I don't think that we ever anticipated being on the verge. Being a Joe Burrow injury away from having 4 teams in the playoff from a division.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we found ourselves in, right? The conundrum at the beginning of the year, like, okay, Baltimore's better than Pittsburgh. Okay, we think Cleveland was better than Pittsburgh. Okay, Cincinnati with Joe Burrow is going to be better than Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh was kind of that odd man out scenario.
Mm-hmm.
And man, the Joe Burrow injury helped them a lot because now Mike Tomlin has a winning season, which they would have probably had that anyway. But Mike Tomlin has another winning season. and Pittsburgh's in the playoffs. So,
I'll tell you something else of a team that did not suffer an injury at quarterback is Jacksonville, and they missed it.
Yeah, we all had them winning their division. And, I mean, we'll talk about the Eagles' collapse here in a little bit, but another team that kind of had it in their grasp, right? Jacksonville. And then with 5 weeks to go.
Win it in.
Yeah. 5 weeks to go, they just couldn't get that clinching win.
Yeah.
We really got to see some coaches do some really good jobs this year. I mean, a lot of it, you know what, I would say besides Tennessee and the other two teams in the South, so Indianapolis and Houston, hats off to the coaching staffs there, really. Indy was right there with their backup almost all year.
Yeah, Houston was another, obviously, big surprise. First-year coach, first-year quarterback, and they win their division.
Yeah, you know what? And C.J. Stroud went down for a game or two, didn't he?
Yeah, he was out. He missed a couple games.
Yeah, and they still did it. That dude to me is coach of the year. I don't know anyone else that's close.
I agree.
That's it, man. LaFleur did a nice job in Green Bay also, but Ryan, man, in freaking Houston, he turned that whole culture around, man. The whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big time. So before we get into this weekend's games, there have been – we're recording this on Thursday night, so in about the last 24 to 28, 30 hours, there have been 3 huge coaching bombshells. One, Pete Carroll is no longer the coach in Seattle, rumored to be taking a front office position. That I don't think has really been confirmed. He seemed like, from his presser today, that he still wants to coach.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
And so
I mean,
go ahead, Gritty.
I mean, one in one hand, and you know what else in the other. I just don't know if – I don't know. I think there might be a youth movement in the NFL, like DeMeco Ryans, obviously like Sean McVay, Shanahan. You know, these guys getting younger. Robert Saleh, like I think Robert Saleh is in Coach of the Year conversation. You know, Stefanski, what's his name, Zach Taylor. You know, I think there's a little bit of a youth movement that has already started to transpire, and now you're starting to see these old heads kind of get bounced. So,
yeah, you know, another young guy I think is going to get a job soon is the Lions OC, Ben Johnson.
Yeah,
he's sharp. He's real sharp.
Incredible what has happened up there in Detroit. Incredible. So,
yeah, that's a topic that it always comes up is culture, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you asked me, okay, you got to back a Brinks truck up and you got to pay this coach whatever he wants, you got to pay him, you know, to be the predecessor to Andy Reid, I would back up the big Brinks truck for Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, you like him that much. Yeah, I like him too. Well, okay.
I like Dan Campbell a lot.
I just like what he brings, the mentality, like it's us against the world, you know, bite kneecaps, you know, we all make fun of him for that stuff, but that team does that.
They are a tough football team.
I agree.
So Pete Carroll, obviously, that's a big one. Then last night, we got the news that Nick Saban was retiring from Alabama. Now,
wow,
that was crazy, but I honestly think with him, I think he's just done with the grind of coaching. I think he will, from what I've read today, he is going to still have an office at the University of Alabama, and I think he'll end up kind of being, as the playoff is expanding, he's going to have some type of role I think, in that with college football.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that for sure. Also, like, you know, what's going to stop him from being in athletic development?
Yeah.
You know, at the University of Alabama, you know, something like that. But I agree. Like, he was the grind of being a head coach got harder, not easier.
Yes.
Because, hey, I'm Nick Saban. I coach at Alabama. You know, let's go. You know, that was his spiel for 15 years. Now you got the dang NIL or whatever. You know, now it's like, okay, well, Georgia's offering me $2.5 million in a car. What do you offer me? What can you offer me? You know?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, Nick Saban's like, yeah, I don't know if I want to do this. He did it. He did a couple off seasons of it. It was like, nah, I'm good. So it was time. It was time. The timeline all matched.
But I did also see today that because, like, so all but 2 or 3 of Bama's class of 24 recruits were early signees, and they had already started attending classes 2 days ago at the University of Alabama. So therefore,
wow,
they cannot transfer right away because they've already enrolled and taken classes on the campus. So just a little nugget there of him still helping the University of Alabama. Guys he recruited, you know, are already enrolled and taking classes.
Okay, well, while we're talking about Nick Saban here, let's talk about a couple of things he did for the university, right? Or his players. So Nick Saban in his coaching tenure had 44 first-round draft picks. He had 29 losses in his career.
Yeah. Crazy.
He had 123 players drafted, not including the guys that are to come this year. He had $2.269 billion in career earnings with those 123 players. And the University of Alabama, when Nick Saban took the job, had 20,000 students, and this year they had 45,000 students. I mean, it's a direct correlation of what he's done, not just with the football program, but the football program was already good, but he took it to another step. He took it to another level. You know, he kind of built Tuscaloosa. So that's a big loss for them, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they'll get another coach. They just have to. Alabama's got. I mean, I'm not saying they're not on the NIL train, because I'm sure they are. But they've got to. It's the new landscape, and you have to do it. So, I think whatever guy they bring in, they will. Now, do you guys, in your opinion, do you think they're going to go with a younger guy, like a younger great coach, or they're going to try to get one of these older great coaches?
So, from what I've seen, the guy at Washington and Lane Kiffin are probably one of the two that are going to end up there.
Yeah, I think
you're kind of in the same situation with the guy with Dabo. I mean, he's an alumni and stuff like that, but he doesn't want to do the NIL stuff.
Yeah, that's why Clemson ain't doing as well.
Yeah, and I think Lane goes there for a couple years, and then Dabo will come take the job after him. I think he doesn't want to follow. What Alabama has to do is Bear Bryant retired in 1982. Okay, Saban didn't get there until 2007. Okay, they cannot go 25 years in between great coaches.
Yeah, I was looking that up too, Gary. They had I think they got a national championship in '92, And then there's a big gap like between the whole deal.
They did. That's right. Gene Stallings won a national title.
Yeah. I saw stuff like, it's like 92.
And Dabo was on that team.
Do what?
Dabo Sweeney was on that team.
Oh, no joke. Okay.
Yeah.
I knew he had talked about that he played there. I didn't know when. So, yeah, that's cool. I think if I had to choose a guy, I like Lane Kiffin, and he knows the SEC, so I'd go Lane Kiffin.
Yeah. I could definitely see that.
That's interesting. Nick Saban. Godspeed.
Yeah.
All right. What about the next guy, Gary?
Yeah, this next guy, I mean, we just talked about Nick Saban. I think we're all in agreement that he's the greatest college coach of all time, right?
Yeah.
Agreed.
In my opinion, this next guy is the greatest NFL coach of all time, Bill Belichick. No longer with the Patriots. They made it very clear, I felt like, at his press conference also, that he is going to coach again. He's 15 wins away from all time. Has the most playoff wins among active coaches all time. I mean, 6 Super Bowls, Super Bowl championships. So, I mean, obviously people now are saying, well, without Tom Brady, this and that. Yeah, Tom Brady's an all-time player, though. So, I still think Bill Belichick is the greatest NFL coach of all time.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. He's not. It's not even as head coach. Like he is. I think Bill Belichick might be the greatest just football coach of all time. Even because of his time, even as a defensive coordinator with the Giants, and he had started turning around Cleveland, and Nick Saban was on that staff. He had started turning around Cleveland, and they went ahead and let him go, which is crazy to me. I mean, hindsight was terrible, but as a defense coordinator, even his time as a GM from 2000 to now, he did it. He really did it. He really did a great job building the Patriots roster. He really did. His defenses were usually at worst top 15, and that's what helped Brady win all those championships as well. So a lot of people don't forget about that kind of stuff where it's like if Brady was stuck with a bad defense, he might not have all those rings.
Yeah.
So exactly. It's the same thing. I think Belichick might be just the greatest football coach ever.
Yeah, no, I can get behind that for sure. At least for the next couple of years.
Hey, whoa.
Yeah.
I will say this, though, as far as, like, GOAT head coach in the NFL, I think that, I mean, I don't want to make it sound like it's nothing, but I think that'll be easier to pass than Saban. I don't think anybody's going to be close to Nick Saban.
Yeah, honestly, like, you never want to follow a coaching legend, but if I had to choose one of those two jobs, if somebody told me, like, hey, you're going to take one of these two, I think I would rather go to New England, just because the last 2 or 3 years have not been good. And so, if you could have one 10-win season next year, that really helps, right? Versus at Alabama, you could win 10 games the next 10 years, but not win a national championship. And you probably wouldn't even make it 10 years.
Yeah, what's gonna help that next coach out is that 12-team playoff.
Yeah, because Saban made the playoff 8 of 10 years.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's a really ridiculous stat. It's a ridiculous stat that, to me, I think, I mean, it sounds wild. Michigan is the national champ, but like them beating Georgia to get in is a really great accomplishment too. Like this year, because I'm not so sure if that those teams play 10 times who wins more. I actually would think Georgia, but I mean, it was a great year for him. So, yeah, that'd be a little harder to follow. You go to New England, man. The expectations right now are nothing.
Yeah.
The expectation is like, hopefully, we have a winning record.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know. That's where I'm at. I think, all three of those guys, obviously, Pete Carroll's one of a very few coaches to win a national championship and a Super Bowl. So, his place in history is etched also. He was a dumb play call away from winning 2 Super Bowls.
That's true.
And the thing is that the worst Super Bowl play call we've ever seen?
Man, I don't know about the worst, but at least that comes to my mind when you say that.
I mean, dude, which is also funny. Did you guys see the Club Shay Shay with Marshawn?
No, I didn't see that one.
I was actually going to say that. I saw that clip. Great, yeah.
Hey, he said he walked off the field and laughed in Russell Wilson's face.
Oh, okay.
Because Russell didn't check. Russell had the option to check out of that play,
and he didn't.
And he didn't.
Yeah, what's even crazier is the other side of that. I don't know if it's a documentary or what it is. The Patriots practiced for that play.
Yeah, so that was a play Seattle ran a lot around the goal line, and they had just ran it to beat Arizona a couple weeks before.
And the defensive genius, as we all know him to be, said, "Gotcha."
Yep.
Yeah, unbelievable. I mean, that's really unbelievable. And you got to think about the coaching job Belichick did, and it's Brady also as far as a player, but the comeback against Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Masterful. To come from behind like that, you as the team trying to come back, you have to have a different, it's a different kind of clock management where the time is working against you.
Yeah.
You got to manage that. I mean, the whole thing is really just a masterclass.
Absolutely.
It is.
And it's against 2 guys. It's against a good to great quarterback, and it's against 2 coaches that I would say are great coaches, against Kyle Shanahan and Dan Quinn.
Yeah.
Incredible. I mean, really incredible.
Agreed.
Yeah, that game was, something else. I think we could probably talk about that for an hour if we wanted to. But yeah, let's move on to this weekend's games. We will start in the AFC. We'll just kind of go down the list. The first game of the weekend is Cleveland Browns. And the resurgence of Joe Flacco, getting them in the playoffs, traveling down to Houston. Okay, and Houston is a 2.5-point underdog at home this weekend against the Browns.
Let's go.
So,
hey,
what do you got?
Let's go.
All I gotta say is, this game is probably the second or third most intriguing game for me this weekend. Man, dude, you see the past of the league with the future of the league.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. Not only that, but the past of the league has to play like a young, up-and-coming defense that has shown, strides. The same defense, minus Will Anderson and a couple other guys, took the Chiefs to overtime last year in the regular season. And now you got like C.J. Stroud going against the best defense in the NFL, or one of the top 3 defenses in the NFL.
Yeah,
I mean, the intrigue around this game is, man, I'm excited for it. So the only thing I wish they had was Tank Dell in Houston, which I think is ultimately going to be what causes them to lose to the Browns. because really they only have one weapon down the field now, and Nico Collins, which is a really good weapon. But I'm picking the Browns in this game.
Picking the Browns. And you said you were going to not tailgate at Arrowhead on Saturday because you're going to go watch that game somewhere, right?
Oh, yeah.
No.
And then you're just going to head out to Arrowhead after?
I'll be watching it at Arrowhead. You know how this goes.
No. Austin, who you got?
We might go into the stadium a little bit later than we normally do. We usually get in about 45 minutes to an hour before kickoff. It might be more like the national anthem when we walk in.
Yeah.
Right. Gritty, I'll be there too.
Austin, you going?
Yeah, I got tickets today.
You gonna come tailgate?
No.
Why not?
It's cold. I thought about not going.
I'm trying to tell y'all, man, my canopy is 75 to 80 degrees.
I'm sure it is. When we get there, I'll holler at you and see where you're at in the parking lot.
Yeah, I'll be trying to tell people, man, come out, kick it. It doesn't matter how cold it is. You're going to be warm. Get inside our door. Our canopy has a door to it, so it's like at home. We put up tarps. We have 2 forced air heaters that go. They can go from 30,000 to 60,000 BTU, and it'll be 75 degrees in there, and the things will only be halfway turned up.
Well,
incredible.
Y'all enjoy that.
Yeah.
I will be somewhere
warm. PROs. My canopy, Gary, my canopy will be warmer than your house.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Now in the game, it's a different story.
Gary wants no part of that.
Nope.
But yeah, you know what? This game is going to be a really good one. I'm picking the Browns. But it's one of those things where it's like, hey, Austin, Houston ended up winning. I'd be like, all right. That's not a shocker. I think it's going to be a really, really good game. The line is 2. I don't know if I would take the line. I may just, because I'm going to bet it, I may just go Cleveland money line. But I like Cleveland's chances. The thing about Cleveland is they don't have to have Flacco play well to win. Yeah. They can run the ball well and rely on that defense. Houston absolutely has to have Stroud play well. So I don't.
He's got to play spotless, right?
He'll have to basically not make mistakes. You know, he won't be able. There's no chance his completion percentage is going to be high, but the turnovers will be what kills him. So they may play pretty close to the vest. Over under is 44, which is not super high. So
you know what I'm taking in that game?
I think it's going to be a tight game.
I'm taking the over in that game.
Yeah, are you?
Yeah, I'm going to take the over in that game.
There's a lot of sharks that are on Flacco to go over all his numbers.
Yeah, I mean, dude, he's throwing to Amari Cooper and David Njoku. He's got the running game of Ford and Kareem Hunt. Like, it's a great offensive line. Their defense is incredible, but at the same time, like, Houston gets theirs somehow. You know, with Singletary and Nico Collins and everybody else.
I got you. I mean, it's one of those deals where I'm like, dude, hats off to that GM, man. That GM built a nice squad.
Yeah.
In Houston or Cleveland?
Actually, both, but Cleveland, man, they built that roster really nice. Probably the only real mistake they made is overpaying for Watson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You tell me Flacco can come in and do that again.
So this
maybe
game
they sign Alex Smith next year.
This game for me is a no bet. I keep going back and forth on which way to go. I will probably place some type of bet on the over-under. I'm going to see where it ends, like right before the game starts, and then decide which way I want to go. I'm leaning toward the under because you have a rookie quarterback in his first ever playoff start, which we all know that's when it gets real. And I just think that he's not going to play very well against, arguably the number one defense in the league. Number two, number three. Definitely top 3, 4 defense. So I don't see them scoring a lot of points.
And what about like the fact that they're at home? Does that help? Does that help them any?
See, I don't
like. Obviously, it's better than playing in 15-degree Cleveland.
Yeah, it's better because it's going to be indoors, but I don't think that really gives him a huge advantage. Other than he can stick to more of his normal routine.
Yeah,
I would say, on a betting perspective, that indoor on the 44.5, that probably helps that over route.
Yeah, that would.
Absolutely, it does.
Yeah. Yep.
I just think like, and even if this was in Cleveland, I'd probably bet it over as well. Just because I think like maybe the defenses get tired because both defenses are really good.
Yeah.
And like the last quarter and a half of that game is just absolute haymakers.
That I could see that happening too. If it does end up over, that's how it'll get there. Is late in the game. Like I said, I'm probably leaning more under, just because I think, in my mind, the way the game goes, Cleveland gets a lead and eats a lot of clock.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, I can see that happening.
And just eats it away.
Yep.
I definitely can see that.
But again, right now I don't have a bet on that. I will before it kicks off, but as of right now, I've got a no bet in there. So let's move on.
So this is probably like a prop game for you.
Yeah, it might be. I might look at some props too, because I'll throw some stuff on. Which my NFL record this year was terrible. So college I was really good, but NFL I was not good at betting the NFL.
It's all right.
I took a $2,200 profit this year.
Oh wow!
Oh, nice.
Yep, and that was with a couple big like bad beats, like Chiefs against Green Bay. I picked every single money line right except that game.
Oh wow!
And that was a $5,700 payout.
Oh wow!
And then obviously I had that bad beat with the Detroit Raiders game. When Devontae was the only guy that didn't have a touchdown, and that was a $1,200 payday.
Yeah, dang.
Yeah, so I had a good year, but obviously you lose a lot, but when you hit, you can hit on some really good, not necessarily 20-leg parlays or anything like that, but you can hit on some really good 6 to 7 leg parlays that kind of keep you above water. So
yeah, you just gotta you just gotta win one of those about every 7 or 8 tries.
Yeah,
for real.
So obviously next game is the big one for you guys. We were just kind of talking about it. Chiefs Miami. Tyreek Hill, his return to Kansas City. It will be about a balmy 0 degrees at kickoff.
These two bozos will be there.
Yeah. I'll look for you guys on TV.
I'll be there before the sun rises that day.
Yeah.
I'm sure. The last line that I saw, I don't have it in front of me now, but Chiefs were 4.5-point favorites.
Yeah, I can look it up here real quick. I looked before the show. I think it is 4.5.
Yeah.
I believe it started out at 3.5 or 3.
It started out at 2.
2?
Oh wow! It started out at 2.
I think the first time I actually saw it was I think the first time I actually looked, it was 3.5. Yeah, it's 4.5 now.
Yeah. Oh no, I have it. I have it here on ESPN right now at 5.
Oh, whoa! ESPN's moved it, huh?
Yeah, I have it on ESPN. I have it on ESPN right now at 5.
Okay.
DraftKings still got it at 4.5.
Yeah, I saw something. I guess it was, when was that game for us? Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So Monday afternoon into Tuesday, 75% of the money came in on the Chiefs at 2.5 or 2.5.
Yeah, I got the money pulled up right now. 55% of the money as of right now on spread is on the Dolphins.
Oh wow!
Really?
That's shocking.
Oh, because the line keeps going up.
What
that
about
line keeps going up? You know what's really, really interesting is that line keeps going up, even though, and this is there's another game this is happening, and I'll talk about it too. The line keeps moving towards the Dolphins, but the money's on the Dolphins.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you?
Oh, the line keeps moving to the Chiefs.
No, for who's going to win, yeah. But I'm talking about like the odds for the Dolphins are getting better, even though the money coming in on Dolphins. That means, as of right now, Vegas is saying, "Hey, I don't care what that line is. Please put your money on Miami."
Yeah. What's the total right now?
What you got on ESPN? I have 43.5 on. I have 43 on DraftKings.
Okay.
Let me see here.
Already on.
Maybe.
Gary,
It's 40. It's 43.5 on Bet ESPN.
Okay. Yeah, I think Gary V and you locked it in at 44, right?
I did. Yeah, I locked it in at 44 a couple days ago. I think with the weather that, there's not going to be a ton of points scored in this game. I think it's going to affect the passing game of both teams. And so, they're both going to want to
That's
come out
because
and run
one team can't catch.
That's because what?
That's because one team can't catch.
Hey, but Gritty, now we can blame the cold.
Yeah, we can blame something now.
But now
at least it's cold out. I can't catch. That's why.
I can't feel my fingers.
The Miami defensive backs.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. We watched you drop the ball against Philly, and we watched you drop the pick 6 against Detroit.
God, dude, I tell you what, I do feel bad for those dudes out there playing, man. That's going to suck.
Yeah, and the Miami defensive backs won't be able to catch the ball either. So at least Mahomes won't throw that tipped interception this week.
Oh, the tipped interception is definitely going to happen.
It's still going to happen.
Listen, this is how I envision this game going. And I told somebody this. It might have been last night when I was doing my baseball lessons. I said this game is going to go exactly like this. It's going to be like 10 minutes left in the game. It's going to be like 4th and 5. Andy's going to draw up this great play to go for it to ice the game away. We're going to be up 5, right? We're going to be at like midfield, so we have a chance to go up 8 or 12. And he's going to throw the pass to MVS, and he's going to drop it. He's going to be wide open.
Oh.
And we're going to turn the ball over. Next thing you know, we're going to be down 2. And, yeah, at that point, like in years past, I'm like, oh, that's a done deal.
Oh, dang. You have this game. I actually have no idea how this game's going to go. I do think it's going to be low scoring. I can't tell you. I have not put money on the spread.
Yeah, I'm not either.
No. Now, if it was 2.5, I'd take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it was under 3.
Because I think they can win by a field goal.
Yeah.
But I'm not taking 5.
Yeah, you know what? I would put like Chiefs money line in a parlay or something, but I'm not touching that spread. Nah, I'm good. Thank you. Thanks for that. Now, I'll tell you what, there's no chance that it moves to Chiefs plus anything. But if it did, I'd be on that. But I'm not. I don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, even if a bunch of money came in on the Chiefs late, you may get it back down to like -4, 3.5. But, -4, -3.5. But I think that's the most movement you're going to get at this point.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I mean, Miami is banged up. They got a bunch of dudes hurt. They're not healthy on defense. Kansas City doesn't score in bunches like they have in the Mahomes era. And I'm not saying that that's necessarily a bad thing for this week because I don't think they're going to need to.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. But I do also think, like, from what we saw against Cincinnati, like, if you turn 2 of those field goals into touchdowns, like you should, you're looking at a 38-17 game.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I mean, like, the Chiefs' offense is so close to just like, they don't even have to do a lot. Just don't turn the ball over, right? And don't have the killer penalty, especially on the offensive side of the ball. So if you don't do those 2 things, I mean, I think this is a team that can score 30 points. The cold, rain, anything like that. We just have to focus more inside the 20s. Like, let's get better there. If we can just get a little bit better there, I think these games get a little bit more comfortable. But, again, it's playoff time, and Al Davis said it best, just win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Limit the turnovers. I mean, limit the turnovers, really, and ball control. We're more of a defensive team now, so this year at least. So could have beat the Raiders if they were more careful with the football and ran that got that time of possession. Didn't even really need to score that many. Didn't need to score 30. They could have beat the Raiders scoring 10. Really.
Yeah.
Because the Raiders got all them points off the turnovers or the takeaways. So it's a different kind of Chiefs team. It's different than what we're used to. It's more of like it's almost more of an Alex Smith team with a good defense and a good running game, but we just have a better guy playing quarterback in that style. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So then
Agreed.
that wraps up our Saturday. We all had Cleveland going to Houston and getting a win. We all had Kansas City winning at home against Miami. Then starting us off on Sunday at noon, we have the last game in the AFC. The Pittsburgh Steelers travel up to Buffalo and play play Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. So in that line, I got it at 10. I'm taking the Steelers plus 10. I don't think they win, but I think they keep it close.
I hope you're right. I hope they win.
Yeah,
I do too.
I do not want that. Buffalo's the team I do not want to play. I'll play anybody else. I do not want to play the Buffalo Bills.
Well, that's still up in arms for me because first off, I'm not scared. I'm not scared of them.
Who do you fear more than the Bills?
To be honest with you, I fear Houston.
Oh no!
Yes.
No. Our defense takes care of CJ.
Do you want to know why I fear Houston? It's an unknown commodity. I've seen what we can do against the Bills. No. You're talking about, come on, if Kadarius Toney cut his damn toenails, Buffalo loses and gets eliminated. I'm not worried about them. We're horrible. We've been horrible on offense all year. And Kadarius Toney didn't cut his toenails, and we lost that game because of that. I'm not worried about Buffalo, man. Josh Allen's going to turn the ball over like he always does. And we're not going to have to. I mean, I'm picking. I think I'm going to pick Pittsburgh in the game, just because I think that defense is still good.
Oh, you're picking them to win?
I'm picking Pittsburgh to win.
Oh wow,
that'd be great. Yep. I mean, hey,
I'm picking Pittsburgh to win. I think just enough can come from Mason Rudolph and George Pickens. Like, the offense is still really, like, there's still really good pieces there. I think the biggest question mark is obviously Mason Rudolph, but I think he's the best option they got.
Plus 370 odds right now on DraftKings.
Yep, I know. I'm gonna have a whole money line parlay for this weekend, and they gonna help drive it.
Yeah, I am too. I don't know if I'm putting Pittsburgh on there though, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I'm not
too terribly worried about that because that defense is still real even without TJ Watt.
I agree with that. TJ makes the next level, but yeah, I agree. Their defense is good, and they're really well coached. I would say the better coach in the game is Tomlin.
Yes,
agreed.
I don't think it's I wouldn't say it's not close, but Tomlin's better. He is better than McDermott.
Yeah, I mean Tomlin has won a Super Bowl when he has a Josh Allen type quarterback in Ben Roethlisberger, right?
Yep.
And, you know, obviously McDermott has not got that done. So, I mean, I would agree.
No.
I mean, like if it comes down to it, if Pittsburgh is within a single score, they're within 3, and they have the ball last, I'm not 100% sure that McDermott or his defensive coordinator doesn't draw up something really bad and have Pickens man-to-man. I mean, we've seen it all year from Buffalo's defense, right? And their defense isn't great.
Yeah. You know what?
Like it has been in the past.
Something else that is a factor in this game. Something else that's a factor in this game is Kohler, man. Who you think got better culture? I think it's Steelers.
Yeah,
I think so too.
Hey, you ever met a player that doesn't like Tomlin?
Absolutely not.
Nah, he's great. He's a great one. So, the coaching comes into play here. That line is huge though. 10 is crazy.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, I'm going to take Pittsburgh against the points too.
I'm thinking,
but I'm going to take them to win. I think this is
man.
If Pittsburgh wins, this is like a 20-16 win, 20-17.
Yeah.
That'd be.
And they just find a way to do it.
That'd be the over under I'm getting right now is 35.5.
Yeah, it's low.
Wow. See what I'm saying? Like they want it to be a low scoring game. Like a low scoring game benefits Pittsburgh in so many ways because of the defense, the run game, and Mike Tomlin. Yeah.
Well, I'll make my pick. I hope I want Pittsburgh to win, but I'm going to pick the Bills to win. But I actually think they win by running the ball because they've been running the ball very well last about 4 or 5 weeks. And then I think their defense shuts down anything Pittsburgh's going to try to do on offense. So it may go more towards that under. I would think Pittsburgh covers, but I think Buffalo's going to get them in a low scoring. I actually think this has a chance to probably be the most boring game of the weekend. I would think.
Yeah, I think so too. And it's supposed to be kind of cold in Buffalo as well. So
yeah, I mean, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to be entertained by it. But as far as just great offensive play, it's not in this game.
Yeah, no.
You're fun. Well, Gary, who are you picking?
No, I already said I'm taking the Bills to win, but I got Pittsburgh plus 10.
Yeah. Your most fun game is probably one of the next 2 games. So let's what's the next game, Gary?
So the next game is still my Super Bowl pick. I had him as the 1 seed. I was 1 off. Okay, but the Dallas Cowboys, who have won 16 games in a row at AT&T Stadium, the last loss they had at AT&T Stadium, some guy named Tom Brady was playing quarterback.
Tampa.
For the opposite team. So that was the last time they lost at home. But I got Dallas winning this one going away. Jordan Love starting his first playoff game against, again, a top 2 or 3 defense in the league. Micah Parsons was left off the All-Pro list this week. Which, how does that happen? I don't know.
We could talk about that another day, but that is...
I mean, that's a travesty.
There were some question marks.
So he is going to, I think, not only prove that he's an all-pro, but he's going to make a statement against Jordan Love and the Packers. Now, on the flip side of that, everybody's like, oh, well, the Packers have won 9 out of the last 10 versus Dallas. No. Aaron Rodgers won 9 out of the last 10 versus Dallas. That man is not there anymore. So, Dallas wins this one in a game where by halftime I'm feeling pretty good.
Oh, man. I think you're wrong. Let me look up something real quick. Gritty, go ahead with
Yeah, I think this is the second biggest line of the weekend.
Yeah, 7.5.
Yeah. So I don't know if I'm comfortable by halftime, but I think Dallas wins this at least doubling up the spread late. Like, I think Jordan Love gets like there's going to be some sort of defensive score in the game that puts them up 14, and then they score a touchdown late. Like, I don't think by halftime you're in a comfortable spot, because I think adrenaline will carry Green Bay quite a bit in the first quarter, maybe the first quarter and a half. But then I think you get pretty comfortable towards the end of the third quarter for sure.
Okay.
So I'm taking Dallas. Dallas is undefeated at home this year. The spread, the point differential from when they're at home versus when they're on the road is huge. It's like 12 points, 12.5 points or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, they if you take the last game versus Detroit at home away, they averaged 40 a game at home.
Yeah, it's incredible what they're able to do at home. And again, that's indoors. So, they get in there, get a little bit of a track meet going. I think they could run away with it late. I just think, I think Green Bay's good enough, one of those good young teams, that they can, that adrenaline will last a little bit longer. Now, if this game was flipped, we'll have a different discussion. But
yeah,
it's Dallas all the way.
Yeah, I have Dallas winning the game, but I think it's close, and I think it's a shootout game. Yeah, I think it's a shootout. The hard part with me on getting behind, really, really behind either one of these teams, is Green Bay against the spread. Last 5 is 2-3, and then Dallas is the same, 2-3 against the spread. Dallas has been a little bit. See, Green Bay hasn't really played any tough teams.
Dallas played 3 tough teams.
Dallas has? Huh?
Other than Washington, Dallas played tough teams down the stretch.
Yeah, Dallas has played a lot of tough teams. One thing is, I'm looking through – what I'm looking at is I think Dallas is going to win. I just don't think it's going to be a blowout, because Green Bay's offensive line is really, really good. They're third in the league in sacks allowed. And that's my big thing. If they can negate that Dallas pass rush, it's huge. Because I've seen other teams that have solid offensive lines give Dallas some trouble. But I think Dallas ends up winning the game. Now, my money is going to be on Green Bay, just because it pays so well. Like, I'll take Green Bay money line, and I already have some on the 7.5 because I like that hook. And I think the line should probably be more like a 4.5, because I think it's just going to be shootout style. I think this game is going to be really fun to watch. But I have Dallas winning. I just think it's close. But I will be rooting. I'm going to root for Green Bay, just because I think I am going to take that plus like 270 money line. It's pretty solid, good value. So I'll be on that for
whatever you're going to bet on that. Save half of it, give me the other half, and you still win.
What are you going to do with it? I hope you don't bet on NFL games, because your record is terrible.
My record is terrible betting on NFL games. But I'm just saying, you could save yourself half of whatever you're going to bet. Because Green
All
Bay
right.
is not winning.
Gary got his own no sweat bet going here.
Yeah. Green Bay's
Got
not
the
winning.
no sweat. Yeah, I got no sweat going. Yeah, I was
all right.
putting a little bit on it. Definitely not my highest bet, but I am going to enjoy watching this game.
Yeah. So then we have the Detroit Lions hosting their first playoff game ever at Ford Field since it's been Ford Field. And they are hosting and why did it just leave my mind?
The Rams.
The Rams, yes.
The Rams.
That's right.
Jared
Jared Goff
Goff
return.
versus Matt Stafford.
Yes. Jared Goff.
You know what? That's
And
another.
here,
Sorry, go ahead.
Now, both
I
quarterbacks.
was going to say, here is my most intriguing game of the weekend.
It's going to be a good one.
Yes. I have not bet
Two
this one yet.
teams, they don't have to worry about the weather.
Yep.
It's your highest over under of the weekend. I have it at 51.5. So it's going to be awesome. I got the Rams winning this one.
I do too. Like, I think
I think Stafford's going to go ball out.
I don't think it's Stafford by any means. I think it's Puka. I think it's Cup. I think Stafford just, lets those guys take care of the game. And Detroit has been leaking fluid all over the place on defense all year, and the one thing the Rams aren't going to do, the Rams aren't going to turn the ball over. They're going to play good to great defense, and they're going to bet that you can't stop Cup and Puka. So good luck. And that boy running the ball for him, Kyron Williams.
Yeah, that kid's nice.
So, Stafford is just going to do what he needs to do. Let those playmakers take it over, not beat himself. I think they win this game probably by 8 or 9. Would be my guess.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah, I just think Jared Goff, or I think Aaron Donald has like a resurgence because he has respect for Matt Stafford. Like, I just think maybe he takes over, a possession, has one of those traditional, scoop and scores, somebody gets rewarded for it.
You say the Rams are going to win by 9?
Yeah.
Let me see what that. I got the little calculator. I got the little odds pulled up. If you bet the Rams minus, let's say you bet the Rams minus 8.5, that's plus 481, my boy.
Yeah. I've seen enough from their defense, from Detroit's defense. I think they can score with anybody, but again, Jared Goff, what you gonna do with Aaron Donald breathing down your neck all day?
Yeah.
Not even breathing down your neck, he's gonna be in your face all day.
Yeah, I got him winning a close game.
Yeah.
But
as much as, and we talked about it earlier, love Dan Campbell, but
I do.
The Rams are, in my opinion, the better team at this point in time in the season. They are peaking at the right time. And I just think that it's going to be one of those deals where Detroit is going to go crazy. And, like I said, the city's going to be nuts. They're hosting their first playoff game at that stadium ever. First playoff game in 30-plus years. And I think all that works against them in this game because the Rams obviously have been there recently.
Yeah.
They've won playoff games on the road. They have to go play a San Francisco every year in the regular season at San Francisco, which is a playoff game atmosphere. So I got to go with the Rams here.
Yep.
And what did you say that line was, Austin?
On DraftKings, that line is 3.
3.
So Detroit
Okay.
-3.
So I'll probably take the Rams money line on that because it'll be better odds. I will also probably bet the over because I think this is going to be a very high scoring game.
It's going to be a good time. Both those Sunday afternoon and nighttime games. Those are going to be the big fun ones.
Yeah, absolutely. And then
All right.
finally,
Monday
the Monday
night.
night game, the Philadelphia Eagles, are traveling down to Tampa Bay to play Tampa Bay. I personally don't think Philly has a chance in this game. They are banged up. They have been in a free fall. They've lost 5 of their last 6. Sirianni, I don't know what he did, but something happened in that locker room.
He's a child. That's what happened.
Hurts is not
It fell
healthy.
apart. It's like they peaked when they beat the Chiefs and then just fell apart.
Yeah,
It's amazing how the Super Bowl does that to you.
and I think, I think Tampa wins this one. I don't think they blow them out, but I think Tampa kind of has a comfortable lead all day.
Yep. I think this is kind of one of those games like we talked about with Pittsburgh and Buffalo. Like just kind of make it ugly. See what happens. Jalen Hurts. I heard something. I forgot who they were talking to. A.J. Brown, maybe, in a press conference. Jalen Hurts hasn't thrown a ball since the dislocation of his finger. So
Really?
we don't even know how this is going to work.
Dang, I need to lock in that Bucks money line like now.
Yeah, it's plus 135 right now. And I just pulled up my bet slip that I made over in Kansas, just so y'all know I'm not fooling around here. I actually I'm picking Cleveland to win, like we talked about, but I'm actually going to put money on Houston. Got the Chiefs. I have Pittsburgh. I got the Cowboys. I got the Rams, and I'm taking Tampa.
Are you doing the whole money line parlay?
Yeah.
What's the odds on that?
Let me see here. It is plus 780.
God, I hope you hit.
Yep, and I just put $2 on it to pay out $2.15.
Nice.
Excellent.
But the Rams are plus money, so cool. Tampa's plus 135, which means it's come down, like it's gotten closer and closer and closer to Philadelphia all week. With Jalen Hurts not throwing a football, we also his finger. I think there's still a chance that he doesn't play. To be honest with you.
Oh man, you gotta get a bet on that before freaking actually comes out.
Yeah, Houston Texans. Like I said, I'm picking Cleveland for the show. For the money, I'm picking the Texans. They're plus 115, so they're right there.
Yeah,
so that game can go either way. And then the favorites, Chiefs, Dallas. And then I told you guys I put my money on Pittsburgh, so that's what I did.
Oh man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh was popping that thing.
Yeah, so
Pittsburgh.
who
Yeah.
do you got in Tampa, Austin?
Plus 380. Say that again, Gary.
I said, who do you have in Tampa, Austin?
I'm Tampa. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
then-
I like Tampa. I like it's everything, man. They're at home. The culture is better in Tampa right now. The guys are all rallying around Baker. I mean, you look and see which team you look like is having more fun. Really,
Mm-hmm.
which team is looking like they're more put together, which is crazy to say this stuff.
And
Because Philly was all, engines full speed ahead just like 10 weeks ago. And then all of a sudden just beat the Chiefs and then fell apart.
yeah, what
Yep.
what really, and I mean, obviously being a Cowboys fan, I follow NFC East really close. But with 4 weeks to go, I thought there's no chance Dallas wins this division. No chance. And then obviously they did because Philly fell apart and Dallas won enough games to get there. But like even going into last week's game, Dallas at Washington, Philly at New York, right? Both teams started everyone because the winner got the 2 seed. Like if Philly won and Dallas lost, Philly would have got the 2 seed. Well, Philly started out the game down like 17-0.
Yeah.
It's just, to me, it means they quit.
Playing against, is that Tyrod Taylor?
Yeah, playing against Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Tyrod.
It's just Tyrod Taylor. No, it's just it's interesting, man. Like when you see teams fall apart, and it's just like, dude. I mean, I don't know what that culture is there, dude. You've heard some things about when Doug Peterson was there having problems with the owner, and with some of that stuff, and then now it's like, is the owner, what's his name, Lowry? Is that his name?
I think so, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, what's he doing? If they lose a couple games, is he jumping in and saying stuff? I mean, he probably shouldn't even really be involved with football operations, really. If that's going on, I don't know. But there's something to be said that, about certain teams that do well, and you just, it looks like the team's having a good time and having fun, but Eagles look like when they win, they're not even having a good time.
Yeah, it's almost like the pressure got to them. Like it was like when they won, it's just like, oh man,
yeah, go ahead.
They're just like, oh man, we got through it,
Right. So.
Yeah, I mean, ever since his little outburst or whatever in Kansas City.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think, I feel like you have to have respect. And that is not, that's not what the team is getting from him. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and I mean, that Kansas City's not the only place he did something like that.
Exactly, man.
There's been other places where they've been up big on people, and he talks to the crowd or whatever, like, you're an NFL coach. Why are you talking to a crowd?
Absolutely.
You're not Ric Flair. Ric Flair's an entertainer.
Think about back at the Super Bowl. Think about back at the Super Bowl last year. There was a big play that was being reviewed or something like that, and by the Chiefs, Andy Reid threw the challenge flag, and he's standing on the sideline and looking at the Chiefs sideline, like pointing back. And all of a sudden, remember Jalen Hurts put his arm down, and he just kind of smirked and smugged it off. And I'm like, bro, this dude is – this is not what NFL quarterback – this is not an NFL coach, man.
Yeah, he's not a pro. I mean, I like guys that are animated like Dan Campbell, but he's not this guy is like a child.
Yes.
Yes.
So, all right, well.
Yeah, no.
Anything else you guys want to throw in about?
You know what? Let's hold on. We spent the last 3 minutes kind of bashing the Eagles. Let's end it on a 20-second praise of a guy that resurrected his career with old Baker Mayfield.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Hey, good. Hey, man. Good for him.
Hey, I just want to say,
I'm a fan.
For all my people out there, I picked Baker and Tampa Bay to win that division. So
yeah, you did.
You did. You were the only one.
I have faith in Baker.
Yes, you did. You did from the beginning. So congratulations.
Great pick.
I have faith in Baker.
Yeah, me and Gritty both picked 8 of the 14 playoff teams. Austin was at 7. So pretty close on the competition this year.
Yeah.
You know what? I was batting 500. I'll take it. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Hey, Hall of Famer.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's not get crazy.
Hall of Famers.
Hall of Famer in another sport. So.
Oh, yeah. That and 500. All right. Well, hey, guys, this has been Midwest Mics. I'm Gary.
This is Austin.
And Gritty.
And we'll be back next week talking about this weekend's games and giving previews for the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. Peace.